Hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my meditation space. Today I am going to do a short card reading just to kind of see what Spirit wants to bring through to whoever tunes into this message. So I've set the intention to connect with a collective that Spirit wants me to bring a message to. So let's see what comes through. I am using a few oracle decks. I'm using the Angel Number Oracle, the Prism Oracle, the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle, and I might pull some Light Seers Tarot. We'll just kind of see where Spirit wants to take us in this message. Okay, so I'm going to get some angel number cards here. Spirit, what do you want this collective to know at this time? Okay, first one out is Feminine Forces, 2222. And Light Up, which I usually read as Lighten Up, and that's kind of how I'm feeling it now. Lighten Up, Feminine Forces. So that's feeling already like there's just a need to enjoy life a bit right now. And before I turned the camera on, when I sat down, I heard relax. Okay, and then we've got 0707 and compromise. Let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions and aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. And with Feminine Forces and Light Up here. So these are the three angel numbers. I'm already getting a message about the communities that we connect with. With the feminine forces. I feel like I'm connecting to a collective of feminine energies. And there's really a call for the divine feminine to rise on the earth right now. So this is what Spirit is wanting to talk about in this message, is joining forces with other divine feminines, because the patriarchy is collapsing. That should be pretty obvious if you look around at what's going on in the world right now. And we've been under, patriarchal rules and system and structures for many, many years. And what is part of what needs to change is bringing the divine feminine into our existing world that is really this like very heavily masculine structured world, for lack of a better way to put that. And it's a balance of the feminine and masculine that is always required in this dual reality that we live in. There needs to be a balanced expression of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And it's really like calling for women to get together and to, make their voices heard in the ways that they've been harmed. That's happening right now with the files. And it's been happening for a very long time. And that's part of what's going to heal and cleanse the parts of the divine feminine that have been oppressed for so long. And Spirit is saying it's like they're asking us to show up to this work, though, in a slightly different way than we have in the past, maybe. So I didn't think this was going to be like this kind of heavy of a message, but this lightening up. This card here, this came out that says light up. Everything is more accessible with a light attitude. It's not about fighting each other. This is the thing that needs to change in our societies right now, is this constant battling of, it's just everything is so incredibly divisive, and it's coming together and not seeing what we have to change as something that we have to fight, and that we have I mean, we have to learn how to become what we would call like righteous anger, and learning how to be firm and assertive and bold without being, I was going to use the word angry, but that's not it. It's the expression of the anger, and still staying kind of light and easy in our bodies, in the way we are letting these atrocities that we have to face and that we have to speak out about, how they make us feel inside. When we hold on, it even says on one of these cards, stop holding on to grudges. On this compromise card, stop holding on to grudges. We have to let go of the past, and that's not the same as forgiving the ways that people have been harmed, but we have to let go of the grip that the anger has on our bodies and come into this space where we're lighter in our bodies, in our emotional bodies. So, the way that emotions affect us physically, it affects us on so many different levels, and it really shuts us down, and it shuts down the possibilities for creative solutions to come through us when we are tight and our bodies are holding on to anger and grudges and just the rage that we feel about the things that have happened. And Spirit is saying that that is righteous to feel that way and to feel that, but to come up with solutions and to move forward, we have to let go of these heavy, dense emotions and come together. And just being in that lighter space individually allows Spirit to flow through you and allows you to access a higher level of consciousness when it comes to trying to come up with solutions for things. And this is the age that we're moving into. Actually, I don't want to get another card from this deck. I just pulled Growth from the Prism Oracle. And yeah, this is, we've gone through all of these situations and these experiences, and they're teaching us, and we're growing through them, and we're learning what doesn't work and what works. And what we're being asked to do as we are moving forward in this shift from 3D to 5D consciousness that we are very much in, and everything going on crazy in the world right now, is the dismantling of the third dimension and all of these structures that have kept us oppressed for so long and are just part of that density, that the energy that created all of this is needing to go so we can build the new. And one of the ways that we show that we've grown is by showing up differently to the problems that we have in the world that seem so intractable. And this is something that came through yesterday in a reading I did, and I think it's titled Lemuria and Atlantis. And we are, especially if you're a light worker, if you see yourself as somebody who is awakened and your vibration is rising and you are part of the group of people that's here to help create the new earth, to do that, to create something entirely different than what we're already experiencing, we have to show up differently. We have to come to the table and bring innovative solutions, things that we've never thought of before. And Spirit is saying that this is going to be possible. What we usually do when we try to fix problems or create change is we look to the past to see what we've done before, and we sort of just kind of tweak what we've done before and not really come up with really brand new innovative solutions. But there's so much energy that's supporting the creation of things from an entirely different viewpoint, and it's so many things that are making that so, and it's raising our vibration. We have collectively and among many people who are awakening and who have been awakened for a while, our vibration is to a point now that we are starting to access 5D consciousness really for the first time. on a big scale. And that collectively makes a huge difference when it comes to coming together, like I said, to come up with these solutions for how we want to move forward as humanity. We are also being greatly assisted at this time by so much spiritual support. Our planet is just surrounded now by high dimensional beings. And that's kind of a whole topic for another time. But because it was always part of the divine plan for Earth to move into the fifth dimension, it was always part of the plan for these beings to assist us in a way that the Earth has never been assisted to this degree before. And all those things being in place are really enabling us to access, like I said, this higher level of thinking and coming up with solutions that are innovative. The age of Aquarius also, we're very much into that time now where we're in the energy of Aquarius, which is very innovative. It's very humanitarian. And gone are the days when we are just thinking of ourselves and how to make our own individual lives better. It's looking at how can we take care of one another in this planet? How can we live together in harmony and balance? This is the card that came out from the Moon Oracle. Balance. And yeah, again, with this divine feminine, divine masculine, this, compromise and balance. I just feel like these messages here were really about coming together for solutions and finding common ground in how to work together, but coming at it from the healed divine feminine and divine masculine. And there are lots and lots of people who are in these energies now, and those are the ones that we need to look to. And that's the other thing that is happening now. It's not just the files that are really waking people up. It's all of the, what do you want to call it? The aftermath, I guess you could say, of this information coming out. There's going to be so much more. Like Spirit is saying that that's just the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more hidden beneath the waters that are going to surface, that are going to be really what is the catalyst to make people stand up and say, okay, we need to change, and it needs to look totally different. This is a topic I am planning to do a whole separate video on at some point, and it's something that Spirit's been putting on my mind for a while about leadership. And leadership in all areas of our lives needs to change, and it is going to change, and it's going to look radically different. The kinds of people who are going to be the leaders of now, starting now, changing these things now before we get to the new earth. So I'm not just talking about new earth leadership, because the new earth is something that really is a little ways away. And, once it's in its full, physical reality, being this fifth dimension and everything, that's a ways off. But we are making the changes now to get there. And these are the stepping stones, the baby steps. And, I was just looking at the time on the clock, make sure I'm safe here with my phone storage. Yeah, the kind of leadership that we need is going to be radically different. And it's not going to be those who are, it's not going to be the rich and the famous and the people that have pedigrees and have connections. This is not the leadership requirements that are needed anymore. It's the everyday people like me and you who need to step up to the plate. We have what it takes. We have to stop giving our power away. We need to stop idolizing these people that we've put on these pedestals, and we think they have all of the answers, and they've got a PhD, or they have all these connections, they have all this money. We're putting them on a pedestal and thinking that they are leaders. They have this charisma, and I can't do that. I'm not like that. I don't have that sort of charisma and power to motivate people and inspire people. And we don't need that anymore. And we have to wake up to the fact that a lot of these, and I mean, I would say the vast majority of people in the world in leadership positions, I don't know why I'm talking about all of this in this card reading, but this is what's coming out. So we're just going to go with this right now. But the people that are in positions of leadership, and I'm not just talking about government, anywhere, any organization, leadership, it's just designed so the only people that get to those positions, and I mean, this isn't like 100%. I'm sure there are people in high up positions in different organizations that are good people of integrity, but the majority are not. And that's how they were able to get to those positions. I mean, that's just, it should be pretty obvious at this point. And Spirit is saying this is going to be coming out more and more and more. I mean, even people that we never suspected. A lot of these people that we're finding out are just not good people. Judgment aside, it's not just judgment. It's, I mean, as a society, we do need to be able to discern what we're going to accept and what we're not going to accept. So if we want to call that judgment, well then, okay, fine, call it judgment. I think most of us would agree we don't want people who are using and abusing others to be in positions of leadership, and we're going to say that's bad. So that's a judgment there. And I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, this topic gets me really fired up. But, so a lot of names are going to be coming out, and it's going to be even people that we didn't suspect in these leadership positions who, just have done terrible things. So, yeah, this just call for like forces coming together, but in a spirit of love and just a high vibration. Got the devil here. Yeah. Tarot. Let's pull some tarot here. Let me settle myself back down, and I'll see what kind of message comes out through the tarot right now. Yeah, so I've got the King of Cups reversed with the devil here. One more. Yeah, this is like exactly what we're talking about here, is this like hurt divine masculine, the divine masculine that is not healed and is toxic, and this isn't pointing out to men. This is pointing men out. It's just the unhealed masculine. It's just been unchecked. That's too many cards for so long, and it's just because it hasn't been balanced out by the feminine, because the feminine has been so oppressed, and that's a problem. When you have that level of imbalance, then it's not good growth. It's stagnant, and it's rotten. That's the word that's coming through. Okay, let me get one more card here. Okay, we've got two together. Four of Wands and the Hermit. Four of Wands and the Hermit. Yeah, this is, these are kind of opposite energies. The Hermit is kind of going inside and in solitude, and the Four of Wands is getting out and celebrating and being with others, and with this feminine forces that came through in the angel number cards. It's a balance of these two also. So this is something else that's been coming out for me recently, and that is the need for light workers. So for some reason, this is always who I'm talking to on this channel. So I don't know, Spirit really wants me to talk to the light worker collective with my messages, and this is something that we need to do. We need to balance our solitary time where we connect with our higher selves and with spirit, and we really do a lot of work on the energetic plane to bring in higher frequency energies, connecting with our spirit team to get guidance. and then coming together with others and showing up in the world in this place that's, this is also healing. And it's like coming into a healed space within ourselves to a degree that we can come out and join forces with others and be an effective change for the world, a positive change. And we can only do that when and I don't want to say like when we're healed, because we're always working on that we're not ever completely healed, but we work on ourselves and what we do need to heal. And we need to really contemplate what we're doing and how we're using our energy. And we need, as sensitive people, if you're a light worker, you're an empath and you're highly sensitive, and it is important to protect your energy. And that's coming through on this card, is just spending time taking care of yourself, because this work is really difficult. Showing up and facing, the evil that is in the world can be really, really draining. Like, I've been feeling the energy the last few days. I'm posting this on February 19th. It's been really, really heavy. And I can feel it physically in my body. And I know I'm picking up on what's going on in the collective. And it's feeling almost like this pressure cooker. And we have to, if we want to be able to do this work and show up in a way that creates positive change, it doesn't add to the heaviness, add to the density. We don't need to add more anger and rage and all of those heavy, dense energies that are already there. We're not going to create change from those energies. So we need to protect ourselves. We need to raise our vibration in order to do this work. And it's really, really difficult when you're seeing terrible things in the world. It's really difficult to keep a high vibration. And it can feel like you might feel guilty about doing that. When there's so much suffering in the world, how can I be joyful? And this is such a huge message that Spirit wants me to share, like, over and over. And this comes through in so many different readings, because this is something that Spirit really wants me to share. And that is that in order to change, in order to create what we want, there needs to be more joy and just this love of life. Despite how hard it is, we need to be in that vibration so we can create change. We want to, that when you create something, it happens first in the energy level, and the thoughts and the vibrations come first before anything materializes in the physical. And we can't get lost in the density of the pain if we want to create something that's brand new. So let me see if there's anything else that Spirit wants to bring through here. Yeah, just joining forces with other feminines who are doing the work and who are healing and who understand that we need to take action from a higher vibrational space, and then calling in the divine masculines to work with us to change everything from the inside out. All right, so that is the message that Spirit wanted to bring through today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.